preparing for the wedding felt nothing like the movies had promised. There were no constant smiles or perfect moments, only a long list of decisions that somehow carried the weight of the future. Invitations spread across the table, budgets scribbled and erased, phone calls with relatives who all had opinions, and quiet evenings where Anna and Michael sat together, tired but determined. Some days they laughed at how serious everything felt, choosing flowers and music like it would define their entire marriage. Other days the pressure crept in, small disagreements turning bigger than they should have, not because they didn't love each other, but because they were scared of doing something wrong. Anna worried about disappointing her parents, about the guest list, about whether the day would feel meaningful or just expensive. Michael worried about being ready, about responsibility, about whether he could be the partner Anna deserved. Neither of them said these fears out loud at first, but they showed up in silence, in sighs, in moments when they felt far away even while sitting close. As the weeks passed, preparation became a quiet test of their relationship. They learned how to argue without hurting, how to listen instead of defending, how to choose calm when stress pushed them toward impatience. One night, after a long discussion about plans that didn't seem to end, Anna admitted she was afraid of losing herself in the idea of being a wife. Michael surprised her by saying he was afraid too, not of marriage, but of forgetting that they were a team. That conversation changed something. From then on, they stopped trying to make the wedding perfect and started trying to make it honest. They chose things that felt like them, simple music, familiar food, small details only they would notice. They took breaks from planning to go on late walks, eat takeout on the floor, remind themselves why they started this journey in the first place. By the time the wedding day approached, the stress was still there, but it felt different. It no longer felt like a threat, but like proof that something important was happening. On the final night before the ceremony, Anna and Michael sat quietly, holding hands, not talking about schedules or guests or photos. They talked about mornings together, about arguments they would face, about choosing each other even on ordinary days. They realized that the preparation wasn't really about the wedding at all. It was about learning how to stand side by side when things feel heavy, how to stay connected when the world pulls in different directions. And in that understanding, they felt ready, not for a perfect day, but for a real life together. The morning of the wedding arrived quietly, softer than either of them expected. Anna woke up before her alarm, the room still half dark, her thoughts unusually calm. Instead of panic or excitement, she felt a steady awareness of the moment, like her body understood this day was important but not something to fear. Michael woke up in a different place, surrounded by friends who joked too loudly to hide their own nerves, yet even in that noise he felt centered. He kept thinking not about the ceremony, not about the guests, but about the small, ordinary moments he and Anna had already shared, the late dinners, the hard talks, the laughter after misunderstandings. Those memories grounded him more than any advice ever could. As the day unfolded, small things went wrong, a delay in the schedule, a forgotten item, a last-minute change that no one had planned for. Surprisingly, none of it mattered. Anna caught Michael's eye across the room before the ceremony, and in that glance was everything they had learned during preparation: patience, reassurance, shared strength. When they finally stood together, the noise faded. The words they spoke were simple, not dramatic, not poetic, but honest. Promises about choosing each other even when love felt quiet, about staying curious instead of distant, about remembering that partnership is built in ordinary days, not just special ones. After the ceremony, when the formal moments passed and the celebration began, Anna and Michael found themselves stealing small breaks from the crowd. They watched people they loved talk, laugh, dance, and they felt a strange mix of gratitude and humility. This day wasn't proof that they had succeeded at love. It was simply the beginning of practicing it with intention. Late that night, when the guests were gone and the space finally felt still, they sat together in comfortable silence, exhausted but content. No expectations, no plans for the next day, just the quiet understanding that everything ahead would be shared. And in that silence, so familiar now, they felt ready for whatever came next, not because they believed it would be easy, but because they knew they would face it together.